And welcome back to Talk of Alabama. We are excited to be joined this morning by lifestyle and health coach, also blogger, Miss Erica Schlicht. Good morning to you. I see you've got a new cookbook out called The Wandering Palate. Hello.
Hi, how are you? I do, and it's filled with some of my favorite recipes that I put together that are absolutely simple to make and delicious.
Well, I want to ask you about this because this wasn't just one of those cookbooks that was like, hey, I want to write a cookbook. You had real intention behind this. Tell me about your personal story and your journey that led you to this cookbook, Wandering Palate.
Absolutely. In 2012, I got bitten by a tick, and I didn't know about it just yet. And I ended up getting very sick with Lyme disease. And for 2 years, I went doctor to doctor, had different diagnoses, including celiac disease and Hashimoto's and food allergies. And ultimately, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. And so diet was one of the first things that I changed in my recovery, especially with the celiac diagnosis. And I learned that eating anti-inflammatory foods, cutting out grains, cutting out gluten was really, really helpful for my health. It started to help me feel better and help me heal. And unfortunately, I've been in remission for about 3 years now, but I still continue to eat this way. Diet is just such a key thing. It's become a lifestyle, and I feel so good when I eat clean and healthy foods. And from that, my cookbook was born. So I kind of actually made it as a way to create like a kind of like a full-time meal plan of my favorite recipes. So it works as a 28-day meal plan. And, you know, it's all my favorite recipes. And I eat them once a month. I don't really get sick of eating them. And I feel great when I eat them. And they're super fun, healthy recipes that were really inspired by some of the traveling I had done before getting sick.
Well, you mentioned a good point. You talk about Lyme disease. And we definitely have viewers that deal with Lyme disease. If you've been bitten by a tick, I know that's one of the things that everybody worries about because Lyme disease can be very, very dangerous and it can really affect your entire life, but you've been able to, again, be remission free. Do you think part of that is what you're putting into your body that's helping you on your recovery?
Absolutely. You know, there's no cure for Lyme, so I'm lucky to be in remission, but it takes a lot of work to stay this way. I do a lot of things to stay healthy, but diet is just one of those things that's kind of like one of the biggest pieces, I think. And I can tell that if I don't eat as healthy, you know, I don't feel as good. I start to get a little bit more inflammation. So eating clean, eating healthy really is one of the keys to staying healthy and helping your body kind of fight that constant inflammation that you're in.
Okay, and you've got something in front of you. Are you going to give us a demo?
I am. I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite recipes. This is a roasted cauliflower with dill and mint, and it's so easy, but it comes together really simple. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So I've got some coconut oil in here, and I like to use coconut oil for roasting because it has a higher smoke point. So again, it's going to cut down on your inflammation. And I've got some cardamom, and this is going to give it a really nice kind of spicy flavor, a little bit of garlic powder, and some sea salt. And that's it. You just kind of whisk this together with your oil. And I've got my cauliflower here that's already chopped up. So these are some florets, and you can either just get a head of cauliflower or you can buy them already chopped too if you really want to make your life easy. And We'll just put our oil mixture on here, and you just want to get the cauliflower coated. And then we're just going to go ahead and put this on our roasting pan that I've got here. It's a parchment lined baking sheet, and you put this in the oven. Probably about 20 minutes. It doesn't take too long, especially if the pieces are kind of chopped pretty small. And I've got some already roasted that I've got here put together. And here's where the fun part comes in. And I wish you could smell it because the fresh herbs are so good. But I've got some pistachios here, and that gives it a really nice crunch. And I've got a bunch of fresh mint, and this is my favorite. I just love cooking with fresh herbs. They're so anti-inflammatory. And I've got fresh dill. And that's it. Once it's roasted, you've got that flavor from the cardamom, and it pairs so nicely with the herbs and the pistachio and the crunch. And that's it. It comes together so easy. All those fresh herbs are super anti-inflammatory, give it so much flavor. And I like to do this with a roasted meat, a steak, a rack of lamb, even if you want to get fancy. And that's it. It comes together so easy. You can roast this at the same time as your meat too. So makes life easy. You're eating healthy. You're eating very nutritiously.
Okay, so how would you describe your kind of philosophy when it comes to cooking in general?
I would say simple. I love simple. I love to use fresh herbs. I love to use clean ingredients. I think when you really use high quality organic ingredients, the flavor of the food is so much better that you don't need to coat it in sauces and breading and all the other things that, you know, sometimes you have to do to add flavor to your food. So simple, clean, and high quality.
Okay, and you know, you mentioned about the fresh herbs, and you can find those at most grocery stores, and they do add tons of flavor.
They do.
I love that
you're so good for you.
Yes. What are some of your herbs? You mentioned dill that you use. You mentioned of yours, what are some other herbs that you didn't mention that you use a lot?
I love parsley. Parsley is so good for your immune system. It's packed with nutrients. And so anytime I grill a steak, I love to do like a little chimichurri sauce and just use some high quality extra virgin olive oil, parsley, a little bit of garlic and sea salt, and it makes your food taste so good. Getting all the healthy fats from your olive oil and all the nutrients from your parsley. I also really love basil, especially if you're, or oregano too. Either one of those are my other go-tos that I like to kind of just sprinkle on things, or, putting them on soups or using them with meats as well.
Well, and here in the South where we're located, it's so easy to have an herb garden because we have beautiful weather for the most part. Not this exact moment, but in general, we have a lot of great weather here to plant your own herb garden. If people at home want to buy your cookbook, Wandering Palate, how do they do so?
It's on my website, thetrailtohealth.com, and they can also order it on Amazon as well.
Okay, so a couple different options. And I do love that it's 28 days because, you can go through a whole month and not repeat a meal.
And it has all your shopping list figured out, your grocery list, your meal plans, everything. I try to make it as easy as possible so you can eat healthy and delicious.
What is that picture on the front? Is that an avocado?
It is an avocado bun on a bacon-wrapped grass-fed burger. It's so good.
That does look delicious, I have to say.
You won't miss out on any of the grains or bread in my cookbook. I promise you that.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Of course, again, the Wandering Palate, look it up today and buy your copy if you are looking to maintain or continue that healthy lifestyle. We've got to take a quick commercial break, but more talk of Alabama just around the corner. Keep it right here on ABC.